Anand, D.R. Kriplani,
Yes, ma'am.
please tell me your enrollment number. Anand.
D2D09.
What?
Okay. D.R. Kriplani,
Yes, ma'am.
number. What is your number? I am asking.
D2D18.
Why you require that much time to think? Darshan,
D2D18. D2D18.
Devang,
D2D21. 21.
Kanraj, Kanraj, Dhruvin,
D81.
Dhruvin,
Computer 81.
Dhruvin, I am not getting. Dwarkesh,
77.
Penil, Forum, Harsh,
D2D41.
Hetal,
CE73.
Eva,
D2D10.
Joy,
CE71.
Jenish,
CE83.
Krunal, Mahek, Margi,
Computer 150.
C75. Marky 75.
175. Margi, what is your number? Okay, it's 75. Okay, Mihir, Vishal,
9.
D2D01.
Mihir is there.
Ma'am, here 89.
Pal, Palak, Parth,
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
D2D20.
D2D47.
yes,
82
Palak,
CE.
D2D47, ma'am.
Prachi,
D2D03.
Ravi, Riti, Rudri,
D2D11.
Ma'am, CE108.
D2D50.
Umang, I haven't asked about your name. Please keep quiet. Riti, after that, Rudri. Riti, what is your number?
D2D45. Ma'am, CE108.
108. Okay, it is done. Sahil,
D2D25.
Sahil,
D2D46. D2D46.
Sakshi,
CE87.
C80,
7. Ma'am, D2D22.
Chan, Chan,
CE88, ma'am.
Ma'am, D2D45.
done. Rudri, how many times you will ask?
CE8.
नहीं मेरा नेटवर्क इश्यू था तो मुझे लगा आपको नहीं सुनाई दिया होगा।
नहीं सुनाई दिया।
CE8.
श्रुति,
CE102 मैम।
शुभम,
Yeah, ma'am.
68.
Shubham.
wait, just 68.
Ma'am,
Okay, now Shubham Bachani, yes.
yes, ma'am. D2D 25.
Sagar,
D2D 48.
Umang,
C 85.
Umang Tang,
D2D 50, ma'am.
Umesh,
D2D 05.
Vishwa,
D2D 16, ma'am.
okay, Yash Kalala,
74. Computer.
No, those who are writing in the chat box now, I will not mark you present because when I had asked your name, you might not be there or you might not join the meet. Okay? This my screen is visible.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Yes, Sakshi.
Ma'am, you have only told Sakshi. That's why I have written
No,
my
I
number.
had present both the Sakshi. Don't worry.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so in the last class we had completed up to interface peripheral devices. After that we had started with, yes, we had also seen this difference. And then after we had started with this asynchronous data transfer and next technique. So is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So in that we are having two techniques. One is stroke pulse and another is handshaking. Right. So stroke pulse we had completed, in which we are having two types of technique. I mean two types, subtypes. One is source initiated and second one is destination initiated. Right. So stroke pulse is very easy and common approach where we are sending data from source to destination, and whenever we are starting this transmitting, at that time we initiate one stroke which will give notification towards the destination. Okay. So in this technique, we'll found that destination will not able to acknowledge whether source has initiated transformation or whether destination has received the data. Right. So this type of acknowledgement query will be generated at stroke control method. So we'll have a new method to discuss, that is handshake method. So in handshake method, we'll have one acknowledgement signal that provides just to have acknowledgement at both the sides, whether they have received the data or still pending. Okay. So this is the diagram for the source initiated transfer using handshake method. Okay. So see here, from the source will start data on the data bus for the transformation, but once that data will reach to the destination unit, will validate whether data are valid or not. And if data are valid, and if it has successfully transmitted that data, then after destination will provide one signal, that is data accepted. Right? So below we had given sequence of event. One is it is placing the data, after that it is enabling those data set. After that destination will accept those data, and again after accepting those data it will enable the signal which is called like enable data accepted signal. Okay, after that it will disable those data valid line source, and after that source will again invalidate data on the bus. So further, no one will access those data set, right? And once it will invalidate data, then after destination will start to disable those data accepted line, and it will be again ready to take next data, right? So up to this, anyone is having query? Okay, so we had also seen this description part. Now let's start with the destination initiated transfer using handshake. So see, other things are same, like we are transferring from source to the destination, same over here. But they on the database will transfer the data. On the data valid, we are validating, I mean enabling that data valid signal. Now, what is the role of destination in terms of this ready for data? So see that pattern you will get from here. First we'll initiate one signal that is ready for the data, ready to accept the data. So until and unless source will not get acknowledgement from the destination, like destination is free and it is in a position to accept further data, will not start this transformation. Okay. So once it is ready to accept the data, it will enable ready for data signal, right? It will enable ready for data signal. And once that signal will reach to the source what will do? Source will place those data on the bus, whatever it is planning to send. Okay. After that, it will send enable data well. Once those two signals will reach to the destination, it will accept those data from the bus, and again it will disable ready for data. Why? Because now it will start processing on the data which is received from the source. Okay, fine. After disabling that ready for the data signal, uh, to by the destination, it will send to the source. So source will disable data valid line as well as invalidate data from the bus. Why? Because currently our destination is busy on computing the data whatever sent to the destination by that source, right? So once destination will not free, will till that time will simply disable this connection, the data from the data bus. Once destination will be free for computing on that given data, then after again destination will generate that signal. It will okay, now I am ready. You can again start transmission. But once source will get that signal again. Source will start data on the data bus. Again, it will validate those data. And again, destination will start processing of that. So, in short, this will continue once that complete entire transmission will not get done. So, see what they have written over here. Handshaking provides a high degree of flexibility and reliability. Obviously, right? Because we'll have some better methodology to approach on the data. Because the successful completion of a data transfer relies on active participation by both the unit. Definitely it is not like that only source unit is active, then will get message, only destination will active, then will get message. Both must be active. If one unit is faulty, data transfer will not be completed. Definitely, if we found any query at any point, then we are not able to start the transmission. Right? So both must be active, and both will work in a synchronous manner in order to have successfully transmission. Okay. After that, the source unit in this case does not place data on the bus until after it receives the ready for data signal from the destination unit. So as we have seen over here, until source will not get this signal from the destination, by now I am ready to accept, source will not initiate any transformation. From there on, the handshaking procedure follow the same pattern as in the source initiated. So once it will get the signal, rest of these things are the common, right? So everyone getting this thing? Okay. So till time we had seen difference of asymptotic. Okay, let me start from the first. Till time we had seen what do you mean by peripheral devices, what do you mean by interface, how interface concept we can relate it with our internal processing. After that we had seen one of the example of I/O interface. After that we had seen difference of isolated memory and memory mapped I/O, isolated input output and memory mapped input output. Further, we had seen synchronous and asynchronous data transfer technique. So, in asynchronous data transfer, we have major two types. One is stroke control, another is handshake. Okay, so in both the types, we'll have two techniques. One is source initiated, another is destination initiated. So till time we have completed both the technique in both the case, source initiated and destination initiated. That's in exam. Individual technique can also ask like explain source initiated technique by handshake, explain destination initiated technique by this stroke control, or if the question is in 8 marks, 6 marks, then it can be asked like explain stroke control in detail, explain handshake in detail. So in that case, you need to explain both the types in detail. So fine, I hope no one has query till this time. Then we'll move to the next topic. So see, till time, if you are going to relate everything, whatever we had seen, then we had finalized that our data will be transferred from which device to which device. After that, we had also seen like what are the data transfer technique, whether it can be synchronized or it can be asynchronous. Right. Now we'll move towards the various mode of transfer. So what it means, see, data transfer between our central computer, or it is between our CPU and I/O device, may be handled in various modes. Right? Make sure we are not talking about transfer, but we are talking about the mode. Right? Because transformation can happen in various modes. So if we are going to verify in detail, then major we are having three types of mode. One is programmed I/O, second one is interrupt initiated I/O, third one is direct memory access. So this is nothing but, for example, if we relate with real-time example of our college study, then what will happen? First, we'll define that which faculty will going to learn this particular subject, right? After that, we'll fixing the timetable. Once timetable and faculty will fixed, that means fixed. If I myself will teaching COA in the TC2 class, right? So that transfer is fixed, okay? But now we need to identify the mode of transfer. That means whether we'll follow the offline teaching, offline learning mode, whether we'll follow the online, whether we'll follow the hybrid, right? So this can be considered as a mode of our transformation. Are you able to relate this thing? Mode of transfer. So in that case, here we'll have mainly three types of mode. One is program control, second one is interrupt initiated, and third one is direct memory access. Okay, so let's start with the programmed I/O. So for that, you can remember this diagram. Yes, here question can be asked. What do you mean by mode of transfer? Explain program control I/O. What do you mean by mode of transfer? Explain interrupt initiated. And this DMA is somewhat bigger topic. So in that case, DMA can be asked as an individual question, or if question can be asked in 8 marks, then it may be asked like, what do you mean by mode of transfer? Explain any two techniques in brief. Right? So at least each technique will require 4 marks. So that much content you need to write it down. So see, program control I/O, that means you can consider as if there are some program, there are some instruction which will relate with this topic. So you can say like this, our programmed I/O operation are nothing but, you can say, result of our input output instruction, and that we are returning in form of one computer program. Right? One more time. Program controlled I/O are nothing but various set of operation, and those operation are nothing but, you can consider as a result of some input output instruction which is written as an computer program. Okay. So you can see over here the transformation is between CPU to I/O devices. So it is from or towards the CPU. Sorry, it is from CPU to I/O, or you can say it is from I/O to CPU, right? So here, once we'll start this data transfer, the CPU will require to monitor this interface. Where is my area? Okay. CPU will require to monitor this interface, right? And to see when a transfer can again be made, right? So it will verify what is the status and how will go next to next site. So you can see here, data bus are the bidirectional. So it will get data from this from the interface, or as well as it will able to send data towards the interface. Same way over here at the I/O side, we'll have two-way input-output bus. Now once we'll send those data bus using this data line. After that, we'll send some address on the address bus, and that address will transfer towards the interface. Okay. So same detail we are storing in the data register part of our interface. Until we'll not have requirement at the IO input side, it will store in the register. And once we are having a requirement, we'll again start the transformation from interface to the IO device, right? And if we require read signal, that means if we want to give some input, we'll activate IO edit. And if we want to print something, we'll activate IO write signal, right? So that detail we are storing in terms of status register, and that again we are approaching towards the IO. So once it will get data, it will say data valid signal. If anything, IO will wants to send towards the CPU. And once it will able to accept everything, it will send data. It will send signal like data register. And here this H is nothing but the flag bit, right? So if flag is 1, this flag value is 1, that means we'll start transformation. If flag value is 0, that means our devices are somewhat busy, we cannot start transformation. You people are getting? So what is there over here? It will read the status register and it will check the flag value. So if our flag value is 1, what we need to do? We'll read data registered value and in this data, right? Because in this data register only CPU will transfer data or IO devices will transfer some data, right? So whenever it will require at the destination side, will activate this transformation, right? So CPU will start transforming to IO and IO will start transforming to CPU. But initially it will stored in the data register. So if flag value is 1, that means our destination is ready to accept the value. So it will read data registered value and it will transfer data towards the memory. Now, if operation is completed, if no, then it will be continuous process. Will again check status register value. But if it is completed, if our value is yes, then continue with the program. That means we will able to send next status if it is completed. But if it is not completed, then will not able to send anything towards the destination. Is it clear? See, individual program control I also asked in 6 to 8 months because here you are having two diagrams that you can write down as well as its explanation in detail. So students, please do ask in case of query. Any query up to this? okay. I had uploaded assignment 2. Everyone has seen that part? Assignment 2. On Google Classroom, if you are able to see.
Yes, ma'am.
So please follow the deadline, right? Try to complete within deadline and upload it out. Okay, fine. So you may link into everyone.